days a year. Of course, we give out free picks on these shows all the time, just about all. We usually go over the entire game slate of the major sports. We talk major sports, we're talking football, baseball, basketball, stuff like that. We generally don't cover tennis. Sometimes we'll throw in some soccer picks and, croquet or whatever is out there. Golf, horse racing. But usually this one is just straight the big game. So tonight we have two games. We've got the Titans and the Colts, and we got a big argument going on behind the scenes here between me and Bittler. Button heads like my neighbor's got some sheep out there, man. It's like they smash heads. Bittler and I are kind of like that on this one. And then, of course, we got that real Rams, Colorado State Rams, heading on to the blue turf of Boise. Don't adjust your sets. The turf is blue. Albertson Stadium. Anyways, of course, we give out these free picks, but our best bets always are our premium picks. And those are the picks that we stand behind. Of course, they're verified. They are keep records. We don't just say this is our record. It's like you can look at the record and then put it together with all the picks. We're not like those other sites that just say, they come up with something. My last 217 picks. It's like, no one ever walks up to me and say, hey, how'd you do in your last 217 picks? It's like, let's pick some weird number that fits our, fits winning. It's like, it's ridiculous. Just stand behind your picks, man, win or lose. That's what I always say. Man up is the proper word. It is what it is, man. Not a lot we can do about it after the games are over. Though, we got some people in our Facebook group that are tremendous pickers after the games. Anyways, sure to like our videos. Let me bring in the crew. I muted them because they were just going on, and we would have never gotten on the air. But here we go. Got Brian Bittler, Rod, Ann, Chris. Morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Morning.
Brian, what do you got for sale today?
I got a play I really love in the NFL, No Limit, NFL Thursday night. So check it out. Also, $75 for a 3-day pass will get you all my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday action. Lots of games coming up. So make sure you check it out.
Chris Ruffalo.
For me, I got my Thursday night 3-down special. Three of my favorite plays. Even though there's only two games tonight, I like the side and the total in the NFL game tonight, as well as my top play for the college game between Boise State and Colorado State. $29.95 over at the website. Loving those plays tonight.
And what do you got?
I got one play tonight. It's on NFL. Hop on that. It's not a total.
If you inboxed me, I have no idea. I don't check my Facebook inbox. So my email is mitch@sportschatplace.com and mitch@pickdogs.com. That is my inbox. If you inbox me on Facebook, likely it's going to sit there for a very long time. I'll find it like next October or something. Good luck with that. Very easy to get in touch with, and that's the worst way to get in touch with me. I will say that. That or DMing me on Twitter. Those are the two. Why bother? It's like I should just have an autoresponder there saying, you're not going to get an answer. You'll sit there next to those Caribbean sports books. Hey, we've got a great idea for you. Rod, got a great idea. It's like, yeah, we're going to take your customers, we're going to take your people's money and not pay them. It's like, yeah, okay. Rod, what do you got? It's such a good deal. Just do it.
I know. It's a great deal.
It's such a great deal. You really think we really like your content. Really, the part where I rip the shit out of you, is that the part you like?
It's Twitter. And I've got Rod's totally terrific Thursday. I'm like Chris, I got 3 bets. I've got your side and total in the NFL and a side winner in tonight's college football. You can get all 3 over the website, $29.95.
So, all right. Well, I got an NFL pick out there for tonight's game as well. But anyways, we've got the college football game and the NFL game. First, we'll go to the college game. We got Boise State and Colorado State. And in this one, Boise looked absolutely hideous last week. But, Boise is a one-loss-a-year type team. So, I think they bounce back and win. The issue here is the cover. I don't think people are jumping on Colorado State money line in this game. I don't know if any of you guys are. I'm sure there are people out there that tomorrow, if Colorado State wins, they'll tell us that they had them. But, I don't see a lot of Colorado State money line here today. I like a lot of other dogs on the money line this week, but I don't think this is one of them, especially with Boise coming off of the loss. You have to remember that, the quarterback situation is a mess there, but Bachmeier is listed as questionable here. He might play. And the way this line is moving around, there's a chance he might play here. And if he does, well, this could be one ugly, ugly game, and that's why I don't have a pick out there on this thing. Brian, I can't put a pick on this game, and because personally, without Bachmeier, I'd be leaning Colorado State with the points. With Bachmeier, I'm laying the alternate line and laying 4 touchdowns on this thing because they'll win 56-3. I mean, it really is that big of a difference. He's just experienced back there, and he's just a sharper quarterback. I'm not saying the other guys don't have talent. They do. There's no Boise's a legitimate program, right? I mean, they're not a novelty act. But having your quarterback, at the college level is a big deal. Ryan, what do you think?
I think we see Boise State's defense come out really looking to play, improve their play over last week, giving up all those points at BYU, and I think the offense starts out slow. I kind of like the under here, under 61.5. I don't think it gets close to it.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to operate under the sense that, Bachmeier and Sears are both out just because we don't know anything about them yet. I know they're questionable. That's why I would probably wait to see their status, even though they'll probably get close to game time. But I'd take Colorado State in the points. I think Finnegan, while he wasn't terrible, he's a clear downgrade from the other 2 quarterbacks. And I think Patrick O'Brien and the Rams can keep this one within 2 touchdowns if that's the case. So I'll take Colorado State in the points.
I mean, Boise is kind of being like how the Patriots are, right? They just refuse to acknowledge, what's going on with their roster. And I mean, that is at college, you don't have to, so they're not. And so we haven't heard about Hank Bachmeier. No one's talked to him, right? No one's seen him. 2 weeks. It's like APB for a missing person, but either he's suspended for something that he did, or he was on Corona. We don't even know. It's just odd thing, but we saw. I think they would have had a better chance against BYU with Bachmeier in there. And
yeah, I mean, I actually agree with you, Mitch. But were telling me Boise State spread, but I just cannot back this team at all, especially the way they played last week. You were plus 5.5, and you got completely destroyed. I mean, BYU, yeah, they're ranked in the top 10, but I was not impressed at all with them. To be honest with you, I do disagree with my fellow handicappers here. I'm going to take the over on this game. Something about that blue turf. I see a lot of points coming out tonight.
Rod?
For me, I'm gonna agree with Brian. Take the under. You have questionables. I think the defense is a step up here, and game starts out slow, and we just sneak under this number. Give me the under 61.5.
Mountain West Conference teams have laid an egg, and then the next week look like the Super Bowl champions, man. Almost every single week we're seeing it, and it's like I can't think of a place where it happens more often than the blue turf of Boise on a weeknight. I mean, we've just seen it so many times. It's like I don't see how they don't beat the crap out of Colorado State in this one, because I just see too many opinions out there where Colorado State's just such a public underdog here. And, you could look at money moves and all that other stuff. But the reality is that public perception is a whole different thing than the money moves. And the public perception is big on Colorado State in this game. And that's from, going around the internet. And I just kind of look at what people are saying. And, there's a lot of opinions out there where people are, oh, Colorado State, Colorado State. It's kind of like the bandwagon jumpers. You have those bandwagon jumper people, and they just kind of like whoever was good last week, whoever was bad last week. It's like there's no week-to-week continuity, especially in the Mountain West Conference of all places, where we see, Hawaii blow out Fresno State and then get stomped by Wyoming, who got crushed the previous week. And, we're seeing this on. And if Hank Bachmeier plays, I'm telling you, this game's going 65-3.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be on the wrong end of that, because that is Boise comes running onto the field with a sledgehammer. And they are going to hit him with it, man. And they're going to hit him with it hard, because they actually do run out on the field with a sledgehammer. They do, right? That's the Boise thing. They run through the smoke with the sledgehammer. They're going to take out that hammer on Colorado State in this game. Trust me, this is not a team that has 2 losses a year, 3 losses a year. This is a team that has 1 loss every year or 0. And they're at home on a Thursday night after getting their asses kicked on national television.
Yeah. With
this coach. Boise's not a take a knee team, with a minute left to go in the game. They're not the team that goes into the victory. They don't have a victory formation. Their victory formation is to punch it into the end zone for another touchdown. And it's like Chris Peterson he didn't start that tradition. He was second in line for that tradition. But when Chris Peterson was there, it was like, I used to say it every time in our chat rooms that we used to have for college football. It's like, Chris Peterson's got his ass kicking shirt on again. And it's like, that is what happens in Boise, man. Major, major, major ass kickings. We've seen Boise put up, 40s and 50s against Colorado State on a regular basis. Yeah. I expect to see some defensive touchdowns in this one now, the Broncos as well. Look for a big party on the blue turf. Yeah, French fries for everyone, man. Break out the spuds. I like Boise here, and I think if Bachmeier plays, might be on for a special in-game show, trying to find our live betting line where we can hammer the crap out of it, because it's going to get ugly. Anyways, that's just my take. Anyways, Colts and Titans. Brian, we had almost had a directional Michigan 3-team parlay yesterday in college football. Eastern Western Central. I've talked about my Michigan parlays in the past. There you saw one right there. Eastern Western Central. If you, I know a lot of people got Western at -2.5, and won that game. If you bet it late, you got them at 2.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
I know, but I pushed it to 3 on the thing, because I was getting +110 and at -3, and I was like, they're gonna kill him. Damn kicker. That's exactly what happened to me. I did. When I went to bet it, it was -2, and it was like at -3, it was +110. I'm like, why
I
not?
put it in the premium at -3 because I put it in so early.
Because
and it down, I'm like, no.
I just figured that the Eastern Michigan was a check, right? That was just a check off. Like, that was a gimme. 8.5 with Eastern Michigan it was a layup, right?
Free money that game.
That's free money. And then you have Central Michigan against Northern Illinois. I thought that one was suspicious, that there was so much betting on Central Michigan.
It was.
Right? So much that maybe, Northern Illinois surprises them. So I was a little more tentative there, but it didn't stop me from pressing it up, because that one line had dropped also. So I also pressed it up to 8.5 on that one. I got +120 on it. But
that was the most shadiest game. I mean, I had the over on that. I knew that was guaranteed. They put up 9 points the first half, and then you put up 45 the second. It was like unbelievable.
But I think next week is like
so
Central against Western. They're like bitter rivals. It's like a serious rivalry game.
That'll be a nice game.
That's one where it's like, if the line is right, you could really. I think that game will be a pick 'em. But anyways, Colts Titans, Brian. It's I know we don't agree on this one, and that's okay.
Colts gave up 24 points last week, and really they were defense is put in a bad spot for 2 of those touchdowns. So for me, I think the Colts defense comes to play. The Titans defense has been tough all year. So give me the under 48.5.
They were also home. 24 points at home.
And one was a defensive touchdown. The other one was a interception.
I know. I saw it, and one was like a ridiculous call too. That would game.
I like the Colts.
I saw it. I saw the game. Right, but the problem is that you have Phil Rivers in a night game on the road here. Right. I mean, that's the reality of this situation. Is that you have a guy who just refuses to take. I mean, we see that the Chargers, we see that it wasn't all Phil Rivers, right? That we see that Anthony Lynn can't coach his way out of a paper bag either over there, right? So it's like you had the double whammy situation going on, right? But Phil Rivers, generally, like the Cleveland game, what's the last time we saw the Colts on the road? That was hideous. There was no reason you lose to the Cleveland Browns as badly as they did. They were dominated, absolutely dominated in that game by the Browns. I know the score probably didn't reflect that. I don't remember what the final score was. But I remember watching it, and I would say that this much. I had the Colts in that game, and they had zero chance. It was one of those games where it's just like, they have zero. They're not going to cover. They're not going to win. This was the numbers lied, right? So what do you think?
I got Trey Burton to score the first touchdown tonight, 13-1 odds on that one. So nice little $50 first touchdown.
Trey Burton. This line is totally inverted here, man. It's gone now that you can get the Titans at +1. I'm gonna lay a field goal and see what I can get on it at least.
There you go.
It's like there you guys want to. It's like why not?
I know what you can get on that.
I got it right here. Believe me, I'll be betting, and I hope I typo it like I did that damn Cowboy game and have $2,500 on it, man. Because it's like
the Braves game.
I'm laying Titans defense first touchdown.
Yeah.
+15.
Yeah. First, Phil Rivers over interceptions. It's like, did you see the way the Titans have been batting the ball around this year? Like, it's like the secondary. It's like I bet they have more batted balls, not at the front line, but in the secondary, than any other team out there. And I bet they have more interceptions off batted balls than any team out there. That game against Pittsburgh, it was like you could see it in the first half. They were batting the ball around. They just were missing the interception. In the second half, they batted the balls and got all the interceptions.
They won't beat North Illinois for last night.
It's T.Y. Hilton. This guy's not T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton's never healthy, right? So is he healthy for this one? I don't even know. The Colts defense is good. The Colts defense is real good. And Ryan Tannehill, well, he's not good. Either way, he's terrible. What are you thinking, Brian? I know you have a premium pick on the side.
I already told you. I said the under.
The under? I'm with you on that.
I like Trey Burton for the first touchdown.
Trey Burton from University of Florida. Chris.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slow start. I think you see a lot of chewing the clock early on. So I'm going to take under 23.5 in the first half. But I like a couple props as well. Going back to Phillip Rivers, I like the over 0.5 on total interceptions for Phillip Rivers at -150 and under 1.5 touchdowns at +122. And first touchdown, I like A.J. Brown at +800. I think he scored Tennessee's first touchdown in each of the last 5 games. So I really like A.J. Brown there.
Well, that Titans-Bills game. Didn't they beat them up in that game, too? I don't remember. I lost that one, too. I think I had the Bills. So the Titans lost at Cincinnati. They lost to Pittsburgh. Those are their losses this season. They beat Denver, Jacksonville by 3. The Vikings, that 1-point game they didn't cover. And Buffalo, 42-16. Remember, that was the rescheduled game that they played on the Tuesday night? Or was it on Monday? Did they play it on? I think it was a Monday doubleheader, right? They played?
Yeah, I think so. Or was it it wasn't the Tuesday game?
Slaughtered them, though. They just slaughtered them. Then they beat Houston in overtime, 42-36. That was the Romeo Crennel went for two game. Then they lost to Pittsburgh in the game where, I mean, they were way down, and they came all the way back and missed the field goal, right, to tie it on the last play of the game. Then they lost at Cincinnati. It's kind of the head scratcher. And then they beat the Bears last week. They played a solid game against the Bears. The Bears offense, they scored 17 points, but I think they struggled to cross the 50, right, the whole game. Then we look at the Colts, and they beat the Vikings also. That's a common opponent. They lost to Jacksonville.
That was the first game of the year, though.
Yep. I know, but it's a divisional game, so that's where that goes. It's a divisional game. They lost at Jacksonville. They beat Detroit on the road. They lost at home to Baltimore. They beat the Bengals, but by 4. They were 7.5-point favorites. They lost the Browns 32-23 was the score of that game. They beat the Bears 19-11. They beat the Jets and the Vikings. So they've played a lot of common opponents here. A lot of common opponents. Played basically the same schedule. Mix and match a couple in here, but they played the Vikings, the Jags, the Bears, the Bengals. Chris?
I'm going to give my note. The first half under. Phil Rivers, under 1.5 touchdowns, over 0.5 interceptions, and A.J. Brown scored the first touchdown.
Ann?
I'm going to lean towards the over for the entire game. I think this will just go a point or two over. Kind of 50-50 with the public and the sharps right now. I feel like if I had to think what Vegas is thinking, I think they're thinking everybody's going to go on the under. So I could see this game going like 1 or 2 points over. I never give these out, but I'm going to go and say Derrick Henry for the first touchdown tonight.
And me and Ann are like complete opposites today.
I know. We really are today.
And I see the bulk of the money on the over tonight, as far as the big bettors taking the over.
Yeah.
Around a lot. Like, I've been following it. I actually, you know me, I'm a total person, and this is actually one of the totals I'm just not even taking tonight at all. But if I had to, and it was funny, I agree with Chris, I think the first half you'll see it go under, but then you'll see these teams are more dominant in the second half. It'll probably shoot over. I mean, Mitch and I will be on the half, if I am coming on tonight, we'll be giving our opinion on everything. Yeah, I'll be there.
I might comment just to razz you guys.
You can come on. You can come on. You can come on.
No, I'm just going to send messages on the Facebook.
That's fine.
I feel like, because they're competing with this Boise State game as well, and I've looked up like different, whenever NFL is competing with a decent college game on, that they do tend to, the scores do tend to be better. So, I mean, it's just dumb little facts and stuff I look up and my way of thinking, but at least I can kind of share it with my the audience on how I think sometimes when I'm capping these games.
I'd look at the field goal prop for today. I wouldn't. Yeah. I could see it going over in the field goals. But.
Neither of these guys can hit a field goal worth of shit on either of these. These are two of the worst kickers in the NFL this year.
Well, when you're kicking
Rodrigo Blankenship, right, for the Colts, and Gostkowski for the Titans. These guys have missed more field goals than anybody, right? These two guys, I believe they have. Okay, I'm sure they're 1 and 2 in missed field goals. I'm sure they are.
Is Blankenship still wearing? Is Blankenship still wearing the glasses when he was wearing them at Georgia?
Chris, they're goggles, and yes, he is.
They're glasses.
He's a legend, Chris. He's a legend
for having. Quite possibly
legend.
Awesome
Legend. Herschel Rodrigo. That's how they go.
Blankenship.
Yes. That's what they said. I swear during the Georgia-Alabama game, they said, and he replaces legend Rodrigo Blankenship. I think they got a little ahead of themselves on that one, personally. But that was the terminology they used. Those are, and I quote, replaces the legend Rodrigo Blankenship.
Legend.
Rod, what do you like here?
For me, I like the under in this one. I think we're gonna have a slow start, grind it out, battle between the 20s. I don't see this being a high scoring shootout. Let's put it that way. Give me the under 48.5.
Me and Rod see eye to eye today.
So the Colts have dominated this series, and the road team has actually been the dominator of the series, and the favorite has dominated the series. It's not even close, right? The road team, the favorite. Now the Colts are the favorite, right? So the road team, the favorite, have all dominated this series, which means time for a reversal. Usually
13-4 against the spread.
Trends are made to be broken. Let's just take a look at some of these prices out here. So at -3, we can get plus 139 on our money. But if we bump it up to -5, right, which, I mean, the Titans, basically either they don't cover, right, the 1 or 2 or 3 points, they don't cover those, or they win by a touchdown. So -6.5 is 231, but -5 is plus 192. And at -3 at plus 139, I think -5 is our sweet spot, because if you bump it up to 5.5, there's only $5 more there at plus 197. If you go down to 4.5, it's plus 181. For the extra $10, $11, I think I would go there. I think that's where the sweet spot is that 4.5, 5, laying that with the Titans here, and I think that's the easy money. Is right in that range. And then at halftime, when Ann and I are on, we'll have a chance to either pound this further, hedge out of it. We'll have all sorts of possibilities, because the Titans will be up big at halftime, right? So we will have a chance to decide how much we want to pad this winning, and then and then we'll ceremoniously we'll come on after the game to say that our account has been limited again, right?
I've been kicked out.
Yeah, been kicked out again. It's we've been down this road. How many times?
Let's go.
It's almost too obvious, right?
9-6 at halftime. That's going to be the score. I don't know who will be winning.
9-6.
9-6. That's
No, it's going to be 17-3.
Halftime.
I think it'll be around 9-6, 12 to.
I ain't gonna score that many points in the first
I'll
half.
take it. That's a first half under for me.
It's under there. Chris, I love that. You're under for first
So I
half.
don't think there'll be too much gloating on either side at halftime. So.
No.
I like Corey Davis for the first touchdown. I like Corey Davis for the first touchdown. I'm not sure if he's gonna play, but if he does play, I love him for the first touchdown here. I think the Titans are going to try and show that Colts defense that they can push them around. And I think the big receivers like Davis, you have, you've got Brown, you've got, Derrick Henry. They're going to take it physically at this Colts team, the same way Cleveland did, and just throw them around. And then you put a little bit of pressure on Phillip Rivers, and we all know what happens then. The floater, right? The famous Rivers floater.
The floater.
Yeah. the floater, right?
The wounded duck.
The wounded duck. Or the thread the needle where it doesn't exist. It's the football's this big, and Phil's trying to throw it through a hole this big. It's the hole doesn't exist, Phil. You're not that good. You're not going to force it through, right? It's maybe when you were at NC State, but, that was a long time ago. And you were playing against, some bad teams back then, too. Remember that? Remember at NC State? He was the same exact way. Exactly the same, man. It's not changed, except his balls lost a lot of velocity on it. So we are in total disagreement on this Titans game, pretty much. I do like the under, but I think that I just think that the Titans, statement time, and I think Clowney hasn't had the big game yet as a member of the Titans, and I think this is his.
He's got nothing.
This is his big game. Well, he's been injured.
Yeah.
He's been injured. So he hasn't really played.
He's always injured.
He's not always injured. Clowney's always
injured. He was injured most of the year last year for the Seahawks. I love Clowney, but he's always injured.
Anything you're looking ahead to this weekend? Anybody? Brian?
New York Giants, plus the points against the Eagles. I think the Eagles probably lose it outright. I don't know. I just like, and you might be getting the hook with that plus 3.5, but I know it's at least 3.
You think Brett Favre watches our show with his Carson Wentz comments yesterday?
I like Brett Favre.
You think he watches our show?
No.
No? I wouldn't be surprised. I know that a lot of the...
Carson Wentz lives diagonal from
If he is, I would love an autographed jersey, Brett Favre, so please send it out to...
I know that a lot of the announcers and stuff watch our show. Because I hear them saying the same things that we say a lot out there, almost verbatim. You know. So
there was I wanted to give a good NFL out now for everybody to lock in. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I wrote it down and now I can't find it. I know, the worst. It was the Bears are 2.5 against the Vikings.
Rod, how long did it take you to plug in that camera yesterday?
It wasn't. It was plugged in already. It was never ever the plugged in was the issue.
Did the guy come over?
Yeah, the guy came over and we made sure that Google Chrome was toast. He gave me a break. It was only $3,000, so it wasn't the usual $8.
The guy.
Jeez.
The guy came over.
Holy was I ever bright though. Holy man.
We've had 3 people that don't know how to plug in a microphone, and
no, I did get it right. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I think I can pick it up again today because the one I got.
That halftime gonna be big. We're gonna be able to hear Ann instead of this.
Yeah, hello guys. Welcome to the halftime show.
I like the Chargers at Miami.
I already scream at you guys enough. So
the battle of the top 2 quarterbacks there.
Yeah, battle my fantasy quarterback. I like him. The Dolphins are fat and happy, 4 wins straight. The Chargers are...
Brian Flores isn't a fat and happy type coach.
I love Brian Flores. He's definitely the best coach of the year, in my opinion. But
I'm fat and happy. I'm still here.
I think the Chargers keep this game very... I like the Chargers. But today's Thursday, so I might change my mind by Saturday.
How about Michigan State +7 against Indiana?
Oh, I don't even think I had that game written down.
I think I had that one as an under.
How about you, Rod?
Oh. I have Michigan State written down here.
Yeah, I served it up for you, Brian. I picked it out.
Well, I don't know. My list is like a mile long. So
2-point inverse line movement. Bittler's got it on his list somewhere.
It's on there. I'm watching it closely. Michigan at home getting 4.5.
I remember I looked at that game.
Chris, Liberty -33 against Western Carolina. It's odd that you get a line out on a game like this early in the week.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
That was one that I kind of crossed off.
Don't take that game.
Which game? I missed.
I could see Western Carolina sliding in the back door after that. Liberty win over Virginia Tech. Yeah.
And how about Marshall versus Middle Tennessee?
Hate Marshall. I'm going to go with Marshall at this one, but I love that's an over right there. What's the over at? 50 something, like 55, 56. Give me the over.
I think the sucker game of the week on Saturday might be Penn State Lions. I think you take Nebraska. So I think they beat them outright at home.
Who's calling the UTSA UTEP game? Who gets that assignment?
Ooh.
Is that the Al Groh game?
I don't know.
Is that what's his face's son as the quarterback? I hate that team.
See. Oh, they're not saying who it is. They're just saying that it's on ESPN family of networks. All right. Rod, you got any game here you want to talk about for the weekend just quickly? Say, hey, here's a free gift. I'm probably going to be a premium pick, but, I'm going to give it to you guys.
Here's a gift. I'm liking. I'm going to take South Carolina money line over Ole Miss. I don't like Ole Miss at all. South Carolina's got a chance. Give me the Gamecocks over Ole Miss.
Line's gone from 7 to 11. I'm going to take Wisconsin minus 400 against Michigan. I'm going to lay 17 touchdowns in this thing. And I think if it was a fight, they would stop it. I just think, this is a circle game, not just for them, but for me. And, Wisconsin hasn't been on the field in a while. They're going to have that quarterback is back. Last time we saw him, he couldn't throw an incomplete pass if he tried. So his first game, right, he was thrown in as the backup. But the thing about this guy, the guy from the Wisconsin quarterback, he's not like some scrub or whatever. This is a guy, he was recruited by Alabama, Clemson, everybody. He's like from one of those Texas towns. He's like one of those great Texas quarterbacks that somehow don't go to Texas, like all of them. It's like, how do they not get these guys? This is the best Wisconsin quarterback I've seen since Russell Wilson took his 1-year stint there on his senior transfer portal year from NC State. I don't know why Russell Wilson's considered a Wisconsin quarterback when he played at NC State for the bulk of his career, right? How about the Battle of Unbeatens in West Lafayette, Purdue versus Northwestern?
Purdue money line.
So I would be, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we're looking at another potential stoppage. 4 to 6 weeks. And I don't know, man. Last time I was kind of depressed about it, but I have to say that this time, if it's going to work, it's worth a try, because when you look at all of the canceled games this week, it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Well, why would that work though? Why would closing businesses down for a month or 2 weeks work? Then you start it back up again 2 weeks. People start.
No. 4 to 6 weeks, and then you coincide that with the release of the vaccine.
I would be apoplectic. I don't even know what the word is for it. I can't even pronounce it. I would be so pissed. I don't know, but that's me.
I understand that, but it's like
I don't want to be told.
I believe me. No one hates the whole thing more than I do. People might hate it as much as I do, but believe me, no one hates it more than I do. I don't like wearing a mask. I don't like this social distancing. I don't like this waiting in line process of 6 feet apart. So the line goes all the way down the aisle. I can't even go to. I almost said the F-bomb there. I can't even go to Whole Foods because you can't go down the aisle because the people are so backed up down the line. And it's like, I don't like those people to begin with, right? It's weird, man. It's like, you go to Whole Foods, all of a sudden it's like, you forgot that you have a brain in your head. I don't even understand it, man. It's like, we have like the Hawaii version of Whole Foods also. We have Whole Foods, but then we have a place called Mana Foods. God forbid you take a shower before going there. It's like, I'm sorry, you showered. It's like the woman gives me the look. It's like she's like whispering to her friend. It's like, and he's not even vegan. It's like, yeah, I know that. It's like, can you help me find this? Well,
yeah. Well, the survival rate's 99.8. You don't put people out of work for that. That's my opinion.
I understand.
I think it's catastrophic to the economy. But you have no control over it. I don't have any control over it.
I understand. But this has worked in other countries.
Well, we'll see. It's out of our
and definitely
control.
when they did the lockdown, the numbers were down, and it doesn't. This is not a political issue. This is not any of those things. This is a health issue, and it's like, believe me, no one's business got hit. Business probably got hit as hard as we did, but nobody got hit harder than us, right? I mean, nobody did.
I did. Hello. That's why I'm here.
Harder than us? We had zero. We were talking. I mean, we had on our live show.
24 employees, and I laid off 21.
Let's cycle back to this.
I laid off
oh yeah,
a lot of people.
Rod, you want to talk to her about week 16 of Bundesliga coming out of sim games? You want to talk to Rod about that? It's like, I mean, it was like I didn't even know what to say. It's like he's yelling at everybody. It's like I tried to type it in. It came out blue. I hit the black font button. It's like my tech guy calls me at like 10 o'clock at my time, which means it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I think you should maybe give Rod a call.
I totally lost.
And then there's the betting strategy show for simulated football.
It's like I mean, we had 42 people watching. Like we're still doing the show. It's like nobody else is doing their shows and everything. It's like we're sitting here. We got 40 people watching. People are still tuning in.
I think the big difference between today and in late March was we have world-class therapeutics that are available to help people. I think with that, I don't think you can shut down the economy.
But they're not it's not readily available. I just think when you see college basketball games already canceled.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. And it's like you can see that this is going to be a wave because people are now going to be moving back indoors. And it's like, it's just people are going to be closer. I live in a place where we didn't have any, we had the lowest cases of in the country. And now they're let tourists in. And now it's like starting over again, I'm bulletproof. We all know that. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It's definitely something to consider. We certainly hope it doesn't happen, obviously. But
eventually they'll play the college basketball season, whether it's in November or down the road. So it'll get in eventually.
They will get it. This year they will get in after canceling March Madness last year. But it's like when Alabama and Ohio State are canceling games.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
The thing is, it's been rampant at Ohio State for months. I mean, Wisconsin canceled games. It's been at these big colleges. It is like 80%, 90% of the people have it or have had it. My nephews go to Ohio State. They both had it. All their roommates had it. Everyone they know has had it. They have parties, whatever. Everyone's already had it. It's like,
how long were they sick? Like a week?
They weren't sick at all. They're asymptomatic.
I just don't see how you can. I mean, just.
I'm with you on that. That certain people they should do it. But if this is going to work, and it has worked in other countries, because whatever we've done so far is not.
What other country has it worked in?
It's not working. It's worked in the 2 or 3 other countries, right? That they shut down: Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, their population is.
Just leave it open. Oh, wow. You get it. You get it.
Yeah, well, I guess, like I said, it doesn't matter how much we are.
You get it, you spread it.
It's up to local,
That's it. Tough shit.
Europe's completely shut down, so they're shut down already.
I just want to see games, man. It's like I want to see continuity, and it's like that's all I want to see. And it's like this isn't continuity. This is better than it was. This is better than nothing. I think if they're going to do the shutdowns and all that stuff, then these other sports they should start planning for a bubble. To have it in the bubble again. And it's like, hey, if we have a shutdown of everything else and they just have the bubble and those daytime NBA basketball games, I'm in, man. I'm in all day.
I'm in too, yeah.
I'm in.
That's what hockey's looking at.
Ruffalo, you in?
If they have to do a bubble situation again, they will.
Ruffalo's extra awake for the morning show. It's crazy. Because you see him in the afternoon. Someone commented this. It's like, you see Ruffalo in the afternoon. He's like, he's like doing Zumba class. It's like on our show, it's always like, it's like it's either it's kind of like when I used to drink around 2:30 in the morning. Give me a scotch. There's nothing worse like when you stop.
shit.
So like when you stop drinking like that, and you go into a bar after like 2 or 3 years of not drinking, and you go into the bar at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. You say, "This is why I don't drink anymore." It's like
I know, 'cause
you see
actually
what's going on. It's just like,
whoa.
oh, you're like, this is exactly why I don't drink anymore. Anyway, speaking of that, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day. I'll see you guys at halftime with this woman right there. We will be bringing you winners.
We're gonna win you some money.
And I'm not sending messages at halftime.
That's fine, because you know what? Right, it doesn't matter.
You're not gonna hear it
It
all.
doesn't matter what the score is at halftime, because you know why?
That's right. It's only
We're on a
halftime because
halftime
it's
heater,
half to a
bitches.
game.
We're killing them at halftime. Killing them. Killing them.
We have been.
Killing it.
I was like, oh,
Killing. Crushing.
crushing it.
Crushing. Destruction.
Except sometimes when I know you're like, I'm going to 2,500 on the Cowboy. I'm like, well, Mitch, I need to be a little louder with you.
Well, it was supposed to be
Don't do it.
250. I hit the wrong button. It's like-
My zero got
I'm
stuck.
like, sitting
No.
there, I don't think I would take that.
No, this is what
No,
happened.
I need to be a little
This is
harder.
what happened. This is what happened. I put in the 250 and it said it paid like 870
I've done
or
that.
something, right? So I put in the 250. It said it paid like 870. I said, man, I wonder what 2,500 looks like. So I put it in 8,700. I forgot to change it out and I just hit the enter.
Oh, I've done that where I go to hit the enter, but I add the zero and I'm like hitting the enter real. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just put.
I never win
zero
on
in there.
those. I never win
Of
on those.
course
I
not.
never win on those.
And they'll never offer you a cash out. They're like, you got your money. It's captured now.
Oh, no. There's no cash out on that.
No. Well, no.
It's like, we got one. It's like they're back there. It's like, we got one. Yeah.
They're like, it's ours.
It's your birthday. I got one. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight.